Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab and another Nerd Chat. We are recording this a bit early, but uh, uh, we thought that we would, we're going to talk about Mega Dimension. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
But yeah, it's a bit early to say the least. But well, not early. It's weird timing. We're not fully awake. That's fine. Um,
At noon. We're not fully awake at noon.
yeah, that's kind of upsetting, but
Kind of
yeah,
sad, simply.
yeah, it kind of is. So I guess to get started, what do you think of the Mega Dimension DLC so far?
I love it. It's so fun.
Fair. How far are you so far?
I've been making donuts, and I've gone through 2 portals.
Okay.
Well, 3 if you count the very first one.
3 if you count the first one, but that one doesn't count. That one barely counts. Yeah. I mean, it's basically just there to introduce you to to this thing. Also, one thing that you should be aware of: there's going to be a side quest at some point, up near the. I think it starts in Wild Zone 4. As in the graveyard. Use a cheap donut on that. Use a very cheap donut on that because it's will specifically say it's a side quest. Because that one just, I think that's the only one where it's a side quest inside a dimension where you don't want a decent donut.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people have gone in there and realized, oh, yeah, that's not a good idea. I should have used a cheaper donut. Like you could probably enter that thing with like one berry and still be fine. Because you
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's basically, hey, talk to this guy and then leave. And that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, you'll understand what I mean later. I don't know exactly when it when it happens, but yeah. But yeah, so you've only done like a few portals, um, and I'm assuming you haven't even faced off against any of the Mega Evolution, any of the new Mega Evolutions yet, right?
Nope.
Okay. But you know a little bit. You know about the story of what happens, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because yeah, you've looked into a whole bunch of this. Um, but yeah, I have really enjoyed it. I think that there are certain problems I have with it. Um, Primarily the randomness of them. I think that they're fine for certain situations, but to specific, like I think that probably what would have been a better option, I would say, is that as you complete more and more of the story, I think that various different Pokemon from these special wild zones should have basically been coming to the real world, um, and basically setting up a house in various different locations, such as let's say the Yamask, just for an example. Both versions of Yamask could have been in Wild Zone 4, or maybe in some other Wild Zone, but they could have various different Pokemon could have been in various different Wild Zones, as basically an extra addition to them. Like I could have
Hmm.
seen Sandygast showing up in Wild Zone 8, for example, primarily because there's a side quest that involves dealing with some Sandygast in Wild Zone 8. Um, but yeah, various different things like that. Maybe some like aquatic ones in the aquatic areas. The snowy ones in Area 12, but at the same time, like Area 12 is already overrun, so I don't necessarily know if that would be the best
That's
idea.
true.
But various different things like that. They could have set up some extra wild zones as well. Um, that would basically be like, this is where this Pokemon is for now, or something like, now that you've got it, and then leave the hyperspace portals to basically be, oh yeah, you can use them with the donuts, and then that will give you a better chance to get certain Pokemon, and maybe like rare Pokemon are like, I think all of the mythicals and legendaries being in the portals, that makes sense. Um, and they yeah, and there's a lot. There are quite a few. I think only one of them isn't in a portal, and it's Volcanion. Oh no, sorry. There's Volcanion and Marshadow. Those two are not within the portals. All of the others are within some portal. And I think that that's a reasonable way to do it. I think that it makes sense for both of those Pokemon and how they would handle them. Um, the way that they handled them makes sense. I think that Volcanion, I think it could have been better. Oh, sorry, I also forgot about Magearna. Magearna is also not within a portal. Um, but yeah, so so three legendaries are not within portals, and I think that that's reasonable. Um, and yeah, uh, but all of the other all of the standard Pokemon, I think that they should have had a way to get them outside in the rest of the world, because even though I have completed the game, um, completed the story of it, there are still several Pokemon that I haven't even seen yet, or I haven't caught yet, I should say. I've seen them in battles and such. Specifically, Surfetched, because you need to get a Farfetch. You need to get a Galarian Farfetch'd. I haven't seen any Rotoms yet. Um, I haven't seen Feebas or Melodic yet. Milotic, however we want to pronounce it. And I haven't seen a Squawkabilly yet. So
Really, I'm overrun with Squawkabilly.
yeah, that's why it's a problem, because it's random. It's random on which ones you get. I think that if you look at the information about the Pokedex, um, so Farfetch'd. Let's see, Habitat. Yeah, so that version. So it looks like Farfetch'd is mostly within hyperspace level 3 ranks. Um, except well, regular Farfetch'd is in 2-star ranked ones. Galarian one is in 3-star ones, and Surfetch'd, it doesn't spawn. So you need to find a Galarian Farfetch'd in a level 3 area. Rotom, I think, yeah, Rotom is actually makes a lot of sense why it's hard to find, because it's only in 5 stars. So, fudge. And there's a few Pokemon like that that are only in 5 stars, or they're in really high level ones. So it kind of makes sense why we don't have them. Um, let's see. Feebas is within 2 stars, supposedly. And then, yeah, Squawkabilly is within 1 stars. And I've seen none of them. Well, I haven't caught any of them, I should say. Because obviously I've seen them. I've seen them in the battle areas, but in terms of like the rest of these areas, nope, nothing. And it's just, yeah, it's kind of annoying. Um,
That's crazy. I've caught like 17 Squawkabillies.
yeah, and what really drives me crazy about it is because like all these guys are like extremely random on whether or not you're gonna see them. It took me a while to see Scovillain and Capsakid. It took me I didn't see any Baxcaliburs until after I had finished the end, or Frigibax, which, to be fair, the Frigibax line is only in 5 stars, so that's fine. Um, and I think that there were a few other like ones that should be like really simple. I think Golett I hadn't seen for a while, and it also it's also random when it comes to what Mega Evolutions you're gonna get. So the early ones. So let's see here. So the Mega Raichus are from a side quest. Mega Meowstic is from the main quest. Mega Absol Z is from the main quest. Mega Lucario Z, you see it really early, but you don't get it until a side quest at the end of the game. And then, I think that's all of the early ones. So Scovillain, Glamora, Chimecho, Golisopod, Golurk, and Crabominable. They are all side quests that randomly pop up.
Interesting.
So, if you're unlucky, you just might not see them until late in the game. I didn't see Golurk until I completed the story, and it still took me a few resets in order to see it. And I knew that Golurk existed a while ago. So, yeah. I don't know. It just concerns me the way that they handle the randomness, because there's a good chance that you'll see like Scovillain, Glamora, Chimecho, Golisopod, Golurk, and Crabominable as their Mega Evolutions long before you ever see them in actual combat. I don't think I caught any of my Pokemon, any of my I think no wait. I caught Golurk before I got the Mega Stone, but I didn't catch any of the others before I got their Mega Stones. So that's my biggest problem with the randomness. I'm a little bit more fine with like the special legendaries, specifically the ones that you can shiny hunt being random. Because yeah, so for those it's for the random legendaries, it's the Swords of Justice, all 4 of them, which 3 of them can be shiny hunted, and then Keldeo cannot be shiny hunted. Meloetta cannot be shiny hunted, but she's also random, and then the Laddies are also random. So, and both of those are shiny huntable. So, I don't know. That's my big issue is just like how random it is, and like specifically for the legendaries, especially the shiny legendaries. You basically have to go through and fight at fight a good amount in the post game, and then head to the Rust Syndicate office, and then get a chance to see them. But also with that chance, you have a chance of getting all of the starters of a type. You could get Rotom, you could get the Frigibax line, you could get all sorts of different things. It could be a Battle Zone, which is the worst one, or you could get a various different things, and it's all random. And I think that's the biggest problem with it. The story ones, the story portals, they are not random, but yeah. But all of the others are random. Same thing goes for side quest ones. Those will remain open forever, pretty much. But I don't know. There's just a lot of randomness in it, and it kind of concerns me. And it also with that, you can fail a shiny that you threw a Master Ball at. Let that sink in for a moment.
You can fail a shiny that you threw a Master Ball at?
Yes. People have actually failed a Master Ball thrown shiny because time ran out.
Oh, that sucks.
It really does. Which basically means like your options are reset your entire game because it saves as you exit. So yeah, if you need to get your Master Ball back, I think that you have to do that because I don't think that get your you can get your Pokeball back. I don't think you can. Um, if it hits the Pokemon, you cannot get it back, which is just really sucky. Um, it might be something that they fix in a later thing, um, but I don't know if it's possible. Um, so yeah, don't throw your Master Ball at shinies at this point, especially if it's nearing the end of the time. So yeah, it's dangerous. It's really freaking dangerous. Um, I haven't failed like that. I have failed shinies in this because of this update, which is sad. But if you aside from if you don't as long as you don't fail the shiny, then you're okay. But or if it's just a fail, it's whatever. But if it's something where you threw the Pokeball and you fail because the time ran out, that just hurts. That hurts so much, especially if you threw a Master Ball at it. Like
Yeah,
that
seriously.
should always catch. Um, Granted, you can get more Master Balls if you do need them, but it's random if you get a Master Ball. Because that's through the whatchamajiggle, through the reward matches. Um, that's how you get extra Master Balls. So I had a few. I think I had 3 at one point. At this point, I don't think I have any Master Balls, or do I? I might have one. Yeah, I have one Master Ball left. I had 3.
Wow.
Yeah. So, granted, that was you get one Master Ball for completing the Mabel's research, and then and then you can get one from doing Quizartico stuff. I don't know when, because I think it's fully random on whether or not you get it. I've just happened to have been really lucky with getting my Master Balls from there. So, yeah. Um, but in terms of the story, I think that it was really well done. Um, I think that it was for those who didn't realize immediately that Ancha is Diantha's kid. They kept it secret pretty well. Um, you know about that, right? At this point,
Yeah.
okay. But I don't think did you realize it as soon as you saw her, or
No.
okay. Well, pretty much a lot of the uh, discussions about her as soon as she got revealed was, oh, she's definitely Diantha's kid. Um, and it does get confirmed. Um, Karina knows that she's Diantha's kid from the beginning, but she doesn't really talk about it. She basically just she clearly mentions she mentions her as Ancha's mama, and that's pretty much it. Especially since your main goal in the story of this is to catch freaking uh, Rayquaza for Ancha to give to her mom, which I find that absolutely insane. Um, which you don't actually get to do until the post game, by the way. Um, Basically for the story of the game, you just go until you defeat Darkrai and catch him, and then Rayquaza you have to, as well as Kyogre and Groudon, and also Zeraora to a certain degree. You have to do like a whole bunch of extra stuff in the post game. Um, basically doing like a whole bunch of portals and stuff like that. because you need, I think, 70,000 hyperspace survey points to face off against Groudon and Kyogre, and then 100,000 to face off against Rayquaza.
Wow.
Yeah. After that, it's 25,000 every time in order to unlock a special scan, and that's what the stuff with all sorts of different things come from that. You can get all of the starters from those. You can get Baxcalibur from that. That's where I got mine, as well as my shiny Avalugg. Yeah, that was where the Avalugg came from. So yeah, Baxcalibur and Avalugg both came from that. And I think that you can get like a good number of various different Pokemon. I think fossils can show up before then, but they're less common. But there is a specific special scan that will be like stone, or stone type, and then it will show 3 of the different fossils, and you can get all of the fossils from that. So yeah, which I now only need 2 more fossils, and it's weird, kind of weird which ones I need, because I need the Tyrantrum, and I need Amora, and that's it. I have Aurorus, I have Tyrant, I have I have the other guy, but yeah, it's weird. It's kind of fun, but in terms of like fun parts of the game, what would you say is your favorite part so far?
So far, just exploring the portals, honestly.
Fair enough. Yeah. Another thing to be aware of while I'm thinking about it when it comes to the portals, if you ever see something say there is there's a quest for a shiny, that means there's a guaranteed shiny in there.
Nice.
So it's really helpful. I think that it can only happen with a level 3 sparkling donut of the specific type. So if you go to a normal one with a level 3 sparkling donut, if that's normal type, then you can get any of those Pokemon will be normal, or any of those types will be shiny. So it's
nice.
It's interesting. I'm excited to like test it out, truthfully, to like see if I can get like a good number of shinies. But yeah, I don't know. There's all sorts of weird shit in this game. It's kind of insane. But yeah. What am I forgetting? I think my favorite part is that you can finally shiny hunt legendaries again. Well, not all of them, but some of them. Like, there's so few that you can actually shiny hunt, and the fact that you're actually able to do that with 5 different legendaries is so freaking awesome. But also means that it's gonna take a while. It's basically a lot of resetting in order to get them. Like, I have Latios as my one and only shiny legendary right now, because I haven't seen the others that you can shiny hunt yet. And that took hours of resetting in order to get him. It's gonna take I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get Latios, but I'm assuming that's also gonna take hours. And then the Swords of Justice could also take hours. So yeah. But at the same time, it's great because it means that you will be able to get them at some point. You just need like sparkling level 3 in fighting dragon, psychic, and whatever the other types are for the Swords of Justice, and you can get them pretty easily. Um, but yeah, it's so from what I understand, it's the best odds that you've ever had. Um, except for the something in sword. There was a thing in Sword and Shield where you could get shinies, and those are just insanely challenging to do because you have to go through the thing like 100 times. And it's a 1 in 100 chance, but it takes like a long time to get through the entire freaking thing when in Sword and Shield. So
Yeah.
yeah. Also, how do you feel about the fact that Megastones are still being kept behind the frickin' online battles?
I'm not a huge fan of that, frankly.
Yeah. Like, even if they're easy, it's significantly easier than it was, but they really shouldn't keep them behind that. And my concern with it is that it's basically one season every 2 weeks. I don't remember when. I think it was the 17th was the start, or 17th or 18th. So we're almost done with season 3 for the Baxcalibur one. And then it's going to be another 2 weeks. Yeah. So that's we're nearing the end of the Baxcalibur one. Then we're going to go into the Sceptile one, which will probably be finishing, I think, the 15th of January. And then 28th or 29th for Swampert. And then I think it's right before Pokemon Day for Blaziken. So my hope is that on Pokemon Day they reveal, hey, did you miss out on getting your Mega Stones for these Pokemon? Well, there are special event. There is like a new thing that you can do to get them in the game, and that'll be like an extra like free DLC or something like that. Or maybe it's just going to be something that will be included with Mega Dimensions. I don't know. I hope that whatever it is to get these Mega Stones, it is free. It should be free. Like, I could understand Baxcalibur and maybe the Hoenn starters being portals. Those being like the hyperspace portals in order to get them. But the Kalos starters, they need to be easier to get for sure. So, I don't know. And then also, there's no information yet about Garchomp Z, which at this point everyone knows that it is in the game, but you can't get it. It's in the code of the game. There are people who have been seeing it, they've been talking about it, but nobody knows how to get it. And everyone's just like, so how do we get this? How do we get this Pokemon that nobody's allowed to get for some frickin' reason? I don't know. And yeah, but to be fair, that it does appear like it's a similar situation to what happened with the Kalos starters with their Mega Stones, where it's not going to show up until it's officially in the game. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts. So, have you seen the Mega Evolutions, though? All of them.
Depends which ones.
The new ones.
Most of them, I think.
Okay. Did you see Mega Heatran?
No.
Oh my gosh, you need to see that. Let me see if I can send you a picture. Here we go. There we go. So this thing is just absolutely insane. I can't believe they made this because it's so freaking bizarre. But that's what Mega Hatred looks like. It's so derpy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then
That looks ridiculous.
I will say I am a little disappointed about Mega Scovillain because it basically just gives him more teeth. And he has a pepper tie. But because I was hoping for a Hydra. Like, can you blame me for that?
No.
I wanted it to be a Hydra. I think that would have been really cool to see that. I do like Lamora's, and I love the Tatsugiri. The Tatsugiri being the way that they are is just absolutely insane. Because all three of them pop up on the in the Mega Evolution. And they're a sushi platter. Like, yeah, I love that. I think that's absolutely freaking hilarious.
That's awesome.
Baxcalibur is fun, mostly because Baxcalibur is fun. And then I will say I do like Chimecho. I like the fact that it's a it turns into basically a giant Chingling. Like, talk about a callback to a Pokemon that's basically useless.
Yup.
It's just insane. And honestly, Chimecho needed a Mega Evolution or something because it's weak as hell. So, yeah. And then Golisopod, I think it's fun. It looks like a Droidica. You know, that's what it reminds me of.
Huh.
Have you seen Golisopod, Mega Golisopod?
I don't think so.
Okay, let me go ahead and grab that then. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Bop. I'd say probably, even though I really like them, I think the weakest of the Mega.
It does look like a Droidica.
It does, doesn't it? But yeah, I think of all of the Mega Evolutions, I think the weakest ones that I actually like is Golurk and Staravia, or Staraptor, because they're just, yeah, they really do feel like they're Pokemon, just more. So yeah, Corominable is fine. I don't think it really needs more than that. It needs to be said more than that. And I personally like Zeraora. I'm really hoping to see what it's gonna look like once I bring my shiny over. But yeah. And then in terms of like Magearna, Magearna's fine. The Lotties are fine. We've seen Lotties before. Some people were freaked out by Darkrai. Did you?
Why?
Because it looks like a giant eye.
Oh, of course it does.
Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, good. Then I'm not going to show it to you because that's actually that's a main story thing. But yeah, it when you first meet it, it like throws you off because it looks like a giant eye, and then it's just like, oh, hi. I don't know. It's bizarre. I love it, but at the same time, it is really bizarre. But yeah, I do have to say, I think that the new Mega Evolutions, I really liked them. I know that some people are not going to be as fond of them as I am. I actually really liked the Raichus. When I first saw them, I was like, oh, yeah, they're going to be kind of boring, aren't they? And then I realized, as I played with them, oh, these are actually really freaking fun. So, yeah. especially if you get the I also like the fact that the shinies are basically reversed color schemes. So Raichu Y takes on Raichu X's color scheme and vice versa. If you get them shiny.
Interesting.
Yeah. I also think Meowstic was pretty good. I think there is a weird glitch though currently in the game, and I'm not certain why. In fact, I don't think anyone's really certain why this is happening. But you can't, if you go to your Pokedex, most of your Pokemon that you have, all of your Pokemon that you have shiny, you can set them to shiny mode in the Pokedex if you've seen, or rather, if you've seen the shiny version of them.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, all of the, not all of the new ones, but the new ones like Meowstic, the Raichus, and Lucario, you cannot set them to shiny mode. And same goes for Absol. So you can't look at them in their...
I wonder why.
I don't know. And, like, I had all of them shiny before this happened. So I would bring... I had my... I was getting my Mega Evolutions, and I was like, huh, why are they not showing up as shiny when I first see them in the Pokedex? Especially, like, Lucario... not Lucario. Absol. Absol and Lucario were the weird ones, especially. Because Absol... I had it shiny. I had it in my like, it was ready to Mega Evolve. It was Mega Evolving, but for whatever reason, you can't see it in the Pokedex as shiny. And then Lucario, I saw Lucario Z all the way at the beginning. I had my shiny Lucario in my party, ready to go, and then you can't get it until the end of the game. So I couldn't even see what the shiny looked like, and I was specifically avoiding spoilers of what it looked like, so I could actually evolve it. I could actually see what the shiny looked like. And it's like, nope, you don't get to see this. You don't get to see this purple menace. So, yeah. I don't know. That was... it's just something that drives me crazy. But everything else, from Scovillain to the Lotties, because the Lotties can obviously be shiny. Every single one of them that can be shiny, you can look at them as shiny. So Scovillain, Glimmora, Tatsugiri, Baxcalibur, Chimecho, Golisopod, Golurk, Staraptor, Carbonadal, and the Lotties. All of them, you can see them as shiny. And I'm assuming that once... Well, I'm not certain, actually. I shouldn't say I'm assuming. But I'm guessing that Zeraora, once you are able to bring in your shiny Zeraoras, then you'll be able to see them shiny as well. But I don't know. We can't tell until home updates at some point, which I think should be soon. I don't know when home is updating. Do you have any idea of when that's updating?
It's usually a few months after.
Yeah,
the
but
game
it's supposed to be in January. I know that. I remember the month. I don't remember the day. Because I think they said they did give a date that for when home was going to be available. I don't know. It's not important, but yeah, that's my big. That's one thing that is kind of concerning, but yeah. But yeah, another thing I will say as well that I do really like about this is that you are able to shiny hunt Pokemon that we haven't been able to shiny hunt before, or they were extremely challenging to shiny hunt before. Like, take for example, Gible. Gible was practically impossible to shiny hunt. Not impossible, but pretty freaking hard to shiny hunt in Wild Zone 8. And it's probably the hardest of the pseudo legendaries in this game to shiny hunt.
Okay.
But now you're actually because they can pop up in hyperspace wild zones in massive groups, you can now shiny hunt them, which is so nice. And various other Pokemon are also like that. So I don't know. I think that's I'm really happy that they did that. So you can it's much easier to get Skarmory. It's much easier to get frickin', like I said, Gibble and Drampa. I've actually gotten a second shiny Drampa because it's so much easier to shiny hunt now.
Nice.
Yeah. I think Larvitar is also easier to shiny hunt, though Larvitar is not that challenging to shiny hunt, anyways. And I've also got and then also the Dragonite line is easier. Pretty much all of them are like significantly easier if you can get the portal. That being the key word, the key way of putting it, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you don't get the portal, then it's gonna take forever. Like just for an example, currently I have a water type special scan, which has all of the water starters. If I'm or I think it has all of the starters. It might not have It might not have Totodile. This one might not have Totodile. But I know that Totodile can be in those.
Paldean starters?
No. Only the 4 starters, the 4 region starters. So Kalos, Kanto, Hoenn, and then the new starters, or the special starters for this game. So Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile. Those can all be in the game. Those can all be found in this in the hyperspace wormholes. But no Paldea ones. None of the you can't find frickin' the Hisui starters, which I think that's the most painful thing. Sinnoh starters are not there. The last Unova starter isn't anywhere. I don't know. So yeah, I think that's. I mean, technically, this does make things a lot easier for a lot of different Pokemon, but yeah, I don't know. I like it. I think that it's very fun the way that they've handled it. I think my biggest problem with it, with especially the randomness, is that there's at most I've seen one new Pokemon in a hyperspace wormhole, and a lot of the times it's like two very easy ones, especially in the early ones. 2 very easy Pokemon that you can get in the base game, and then 1 challenging one. And obviously it varies depending on which one you're dealing with. But yeah. And then if there is something that has multiple Pokemon of a specific type, even if there is just Pokemon from the base game, it's 1 rare Pokemon from the base game and then 2 Pokemon that are not rare.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because one of those Pokemon that they do that for is Flabebe and that line. And it could be pretty much any flower type. And I think that it will be like 2 of the 5 flower types, and it will be random which ones they are. Oh. So, like, I was doing a shiny hunt for I think I was looking for Mime Jr., but I couldn't get it. And I got I got 2 or 3 shiny Floettes, and nice. They were all white and blue. So, yeah. Let me make sure of that because I actually do have that somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, I got two white shiny Floettes, and one blue shiny Floette, or Flabébés, I should say. So I only need one more Flabébé shiny, and then I just need to get the remaining the Floettes and the Florges. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but it's also extremely complicated. And again for like the donuts, when it came to the sandwiches, I want to briefly mention the sandwiches versus donuts. The sandwiches, you could set it to be a very specific thing. There's guides online, and they would give and with those guides you could then find exactly what you wanted. If you wanted to make a sandwich that had sparkling power dragon, just for an example, you could set it up to be a very specific build, and then it's basically 2 types of Verba Mystica and then some topping for most of those, and you can easily shiny hunt every single Pokemon. Meanwhile, with the donuts, it's completely random. And it drives me crazy. I think that there should be a little bit more control over it so that you can actually decide what specific ability you're going to be getting. Because you can only go... the way that you do it is to build up a certain amount. So, like, if I go for a very sour donut, I have a chance to get berries, to get extra berries. But it also could be treasure or special items, which include evolution methods, which is a very important donut. But when you need berries, it's a very freaking painful donut, is what it is. So, yeah. I don't know. The donuts are complicated, and I don't think they need to be as complicated as they are. I think that one thing that they could have done is, if they wanted to have it be the way that it is that you would be able to select from a certain number of them. So you could only have one sparkling power, but then you could choose, oh, do I want Humungo power or Teeny power, or do I want Alpha power? Because those are the main sparkling or the main sweet abilities. And you could choose specifically which things you want. Because the way that it functions right now is just, it's a menace. It's a menace to people's minds. Because a lot of what is happening right now is people resetting the game over and over and over again just to attempt to get the correct donut that they want. And especially if you're going for sparkling donuts, you're basically setting it up with max sweetness to not be able to get your freaking shinies. And I don't know. There's a lot of resetting. It feels weird that shiny hunting has basically become a thing where you do have a decent chance to get it, but it's also going to be extremely challenging to get. So, yeah. I don't know. Those are some of my immediate thoughts with that. Drives me crazy. But yeah. I feel like I've mostly been complaining. I love this. I do love the DLC, don't get me wrong. I just have a lot of gripes with certain things, especially the donuts and the randomness. It's too random. That's the big thing. You give somebody too much randomness and you're going to drive people crazy. Are you still there? Oh, you're muted. Yay.
Sorry, my alarm went off and I didn't realize I was muted.
Whoops. Whoopsie. But yeah. I don't know. Randomness. How do you feel about randomness?
I don't know. I feel like it could be better.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the game is good. Let me make that very clear. I think that the game that ZA is good, but I also feel like it's gonna fall off, and fast. I wouldn't be surprised if in a few months' time, if the game I don't think it's gonna crash and burn, but probably as soon as the next game gets announced, people are probably gonna stop playing, which is kind of concerning.
Possibly, yeah.
Um, which, I mean, people are still playing Sword and Shield. Like, it's not many, but yeah. And I do think there are still a lot of people who are still playing Scarlet and Violet and Arceus and all that jazz. But comparatively, I feel like already there are many people who are just leaving ZA. Even people who still have things that they want to do in the game. And yeah, that's just a slight bit of concern that I have for the game. And I think like their idea is to have the online battles as basically a way to, hey, this is happening, so you should come back for however long. And that's why they're doing it every 2 weeks, because people are giving up as soon as those 2 weeks are over.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And if it was any more or any less, or actually, if it was any more, then people wouldn't, then nobody would be playing it. If it was any less, I don't know. There's just a lot with it, and I think in at the as we approach Pokemon Day, it's gonna be worse and worse. So I don't know. Maybe Pokemon Day will be revealing some really cool stuff. Which, speaking of, do you think that ZA is gonna get any new information on Pokemon Day?
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Um, I mean, I think at most it's gonna be the Garchomp Z, but I also think that the Garchomp Z could show up with Season 5. Because they've done things with pretty much all with each season. They have also done something else around the same time. So, for example, for 2 of the first season, it was a Mega Stone was given to us for whether it be Mewtwo or Diancie. And I don't remember what the third one was. I think there was one other one, but I can't remember what it was. It might not have actually had one for the last one. I think that might have been what I'm thinking, because it was getting ready for the DLC to actually launch. And then with the DLC launches, and we also get the Excalibur Stone. And then we have 3 more seasons left. So one of them could probably be, oh, hey, get Garchomp Z or something like that.
That would be cool.
And then the last one, and then the other 2 could be something else. I don't know what they're gonna do with those. Obviously, Blaziken is gonna be happening right around the time Pokemon Day happens. Or it's ending right before Pokemon Day, I think. So I think those are a few different possibilities. The other possibility is that Season 8 will basically be like, hey, get everything that you missed, or something like that. So
That would be nice.
yeah. Or Season 8 might just be like, hey, this is unlocked now. Have fun. Do whatever you want. You're going to be... that's the battles. But if you want the Mega Stones, you can now get them in-game. That's my hope for for Season 8. Which might that might get revealed on Pokemon Day. So, who knows? So I do have a question for you. Have you seen the leaks for Gen 10?
No.
Okay. So I haven't watched much of it, but one of the big things that I've been seeing is that they think they know the name of the game or the games.
Oh.
Winds and Waves. Yeah. And like there's some things like saying that it's an Australian game and stuff like that, which don't get me wrong, I would not be disappointed with an Australian game. I really wouldn't. But but I really don't know how to feel about it. So, yeah. I don't know. There's a lot going on, and I'm hoping that it's going to be good. That's my big thing, is that let this year be good. We're recording this before the new year has started. So, yeah. Yeah. Maybe there'll be something big that gets announced during this time. But I don't know. We'll I think we just have to wait and see what they do. And I'm hoping all I can say is I hope that things actually go well. Because, yeah. But anyways, I think that's probably a good spot for us to call it, because we've been going for a while. But yeah, the DLC is out. Go have fun, people. And, yeah. And hopefully you guys will enjoy the new year, because at this point, the new year has started. And we will see you guys in the next one. But on